Our next artists showcased their work during the VASA Festival. Recipient of Canada's Mississauga Malton Remarkable Citizen Award 2021, and also recognized as an emerging artist by Saatchi Art, the world's learning online gallery, Viraj Ponkshe has always kept evolving his art on his creative journey. As creative director, he's worked with leading advertising agencies on world-renowned brands. As a prolific painter, he's embraced different nuances of life, like universal spirituality, contemporary themes, and diverse philosophies. This constant evolution gave birth to his unique style of Zappin fusion, a powerful fusion of ideas, vibrant cultures, and dynamic art styles. These creations have been showcased at art exhibitions in Paris, Switzerland, Toronto, and USA, and are on display in private collections and on corporate walls in India, Egypt, Kuwait, US, and Canada. Viraj started his fine arts journey later in life when he decided to start creating art for himself.
Well, the thing is, actually, I'm an advertising professional. I'm a creative director, actually, from the advertising profession. And I did my education back in Mumbai from Sir J.J. School of Arts. So that was way back in 87, 82, 87. And since then, I've been part of the big advertising brigade. And while doing advertising creativity, I thought, why don't I even dabble into art, that is fine art. So that's how I'm an artist also now. So an artist of both kinds, a commercial artist as well as a fine artist. So that's what I am. So what happened is basically commercial art is basically something that you do for your clients. So I was lucky enough to work for some big ad agencies and globally. So I started off in India, in Mumbai with J. Walter Thompson. So I was a creative director there, associate creative director there. And from there, then I was lucky enough to go to BBDO Worldwide, that was in Egypt, Cairo, as a creative director. From there, I moved on to Kuwait and had the opportunity to work on some big brands like Pepsi, Coke, and Daimler Chrysler, and Chevy, and all those big brands. But at the end of the day, I realized, whatever you're doing is doing it for the client, and you're at the quote unquote mercy of the client. If he likes your ideas, he's going to say yes to that. If he doesn't like it, well, all your work is like down the drain at times. Hence the whole thought of why don't I use my creativity and try to put it on canvas. And hence I created this whole new style which I call as Zappin Fusion. So that is where I put all my creative ideas nowadays, and that's what I'm doing, right? Thankfully, in the last couple of years, I've been doing some different kind of work, and thankfully for whatever I've been doing, recently I was awarded the Mississauga Malton Remarkable Citizen Award for 2021 for spreading as much as positivity I could. And at the same time, this a thing called Saatchi Art, which is the world's largest online gallery. So they had put me up as an emerging artist. Now, these two things definitely helped me a lot to add on something more to towards my art. So definitely that's something that I thought I'll just mention.
For Viraj, his inspiration comes from exploring the environment, cultures, spirituality around him.
I actually find inspiration in everything, to tell you very honestly. And when I mean I find inspiration in everything is basically because this style of mine called Zap Infusion is actually a whole merging of different cultures, heritages, different ideas, and universal spiritualism. A lot of things come together. So for me, my inspirations are actually whatever I see around, which actually interests me. And then thankfully, as I can do all my stuff under the umbrella of fusion, then I I sincerely merge a lot of things together. Like suddenly I might get interested with some Zen philosophy, and I might just find a very interesting symbol that I have just seen maybe in the Native American style. And then the whole thing is there a way I can merge this together? So it's a pretty interesting way of looking at it. So I think anything and everything that is around in a way inspires me, if you really look at it.
Viraj's approach to his art is very fluid and dependent on where the inspiration is coming from.
I actually read a lot. I see a lot. I absorb a lot, like different philosophies, different cultures, different mystical symbols, basically. So the whole process is, if something really interests me, then I bring it onto my computer in that respect. Because Zap Infusion, as I said, it's a lot to do with fusion art, which is mixed media. Definitely that helps me to explore different medias and spectrums. So a lot of times I actually bring all this stuff together. I put it on my comp. I actually work digitally on that a lot of times. Thereafter, I might take a big print on canvas and then bring it down with lots and lots of empty spaces around, and then start coloring it with maybe oil, or it could be acrylic, or it could be pastels, or it could be anything. As I said, it's mixed media. At times I might just find something very interesting, like rings or something which are plastic or which are metal. In that case, I might just bring it down and then just put it up on that also. So it's a I would say it's a free sort of system where every day is a new day for me, and that's the way I try to challenge myself, because what I did yesterday might not be what I would like to do today again, because the style of Zap Infusion, that is what I've created, and I call it as the art of evolution. So evolution is something that has happened and that is happening and is going to happen. It's all linked. So it's a complete process, and in that process, every day you're evolving. So maybe something that I've done maybe just a year back might not interest me again. So I might be trying to either improve on that or try to see it in a completely different light and style.
During the pandemic, it was important for Viraj to share work that would spark positivity.
In the last 2 years, I think everything around us was in a little bit of a shaky situation. I mean, whoever used to meet, they were all in that zone of life is not happening, things are not happening, what do I do from here? So I would rather say it was like a gloomy sort of a situation that we all were going through. Maybe some of us are still going through it. So here came a big thought in my head, that is there any way can my art touch all these guys and add some positivity in them? Can something be done about it? And what I mean to say is, positivity is basically, how can I push them? How can I bring some happiness into their life? How can I cheer them up? Is there any way I can boost their confidence? So if you go on to my website, you will see so many different images out there, which are actually, I mean, I have a whole series called Positive Energy over there. So if you go through that, maybe there might be some 17 or 20 different kind of images there. So if you really go through them, you'll actually see that each and every one is actually talking about positivity. So actually, I took this whole thing in a very positive way, and I said, you know what, as an artist, maybe there is some sort of a responsibility that is on me also, because at the end of the day, I'm actually talking to my audience. And if I can make some sort of a difference in their life in a positive way, why not? Seriously, why not?
Bouncing back from the pandemic, Viraj wants to both share more of his work in exhibitions, but also explore sharing them digitally.
You know what happened actually in the last couple of years? I think the online media became quite active. I mean, I remember there was a time prior to the pandemic where everything was okay, you have to go and meet art galleries. You're supposed to show them your work. If they're happy with it, they will invite you for exhibition or something. Suddenly, online art exhibitions started becoming big because yeah, I mean, you have to do something, right? You have to show the world what you're doing. Thankfully, lot of online stuff came across. I mean, they started opening up a lot of things. So online display of art became big. Suddenly NFTs became quite big, and this is the new buzzword that is everywhere. So NFTs are almost happening on everything. So the digital media actually started moving in this case in terms of art, and thankfully that is what I'm looking out for now. That moving forward again, of course, going back and talking to art galleries and seeing if they uh, would be interested in putting up my work over there. At the same time, NFTs, yeah, definitely, if there's a scope for that. So I'm working on certain projects right now, which I intend to put it on as NFTs very soon. And three, definitely, the whole buzzword now here is be local, but be global also. So talk to the other part of the world. And the most important thing that I realized that uh, consumers, or let's say art lovers, let's put it that way, art lovers, uh, it's not really necessary that they are buying originals nowadays. So if one can come out with prints for that matter, which I've started doing now, so you come out with a special edition prints and then start catering it from that point of view. That okay, if an original costs xxx, in this case the print might just cost x in that respect, so it becomes affordable. But at the same time, you have the signature of the artist, you have his stamp of approval is whatever. uh, so seeing it from that point of view, I realize actually people are buying prints more than originals. But of course, there's a market for originals, there's a market for prints also. But yes, this is some kind of a shift that I have realized in the last couple of years now. So definitely, I'll be introducing more edition prints of some of my work. So yeah, let's see how it all progresses from here.
If Viraj's work was put into a capsule today and someone dug it up 50 years from now, here's how he would want that person to feel.
It would be something on the lines of, here's someone who seeded positivity through his unique art style, which I call as Zap Infusion. And now, look at this, the trees blossoming everywhere. So that positivity is being spread around wherever you can. And that's the best way I can actually put it across. So maybe it sounds a little weird, but then we are talking about something that's going to happen after 50 years or something. So definitely I would be happy if I'm seen that way more than anything else.